Okay, hello, Mr. Timothy. My ad does not convert. How do I get my property ad to convert at least 10% ROI? A good one. So, I've always spoken about this particular aspect, but before I delve in deeply to today's answer to the problems that most of you are having, if you are here for the first time, I would like you to go straight to the point and hit the subscribe button there before we proceed. But last week, I gave an answer to the previous question, which I am assuming that you watched and then you paid attention to all the recommendations in the previous video. But for today, I'm going to be very straightforward on this and give you a headway on what to fix and what probably would have been the reason why you are encountering that particular decline in your expected result. But first and foremost, go there to where you have the subscribe button now. Click on subscribe and turn on the notification bell. All right, so quickly, your ad is not converting is actually not something that you are the only one experiencing presently. You see, I've talked about this a couple of times. If you are in real estate, the first thing you need to understand before you get to ad manager and start creating ad is to know that you are not selling shoes, you are not selling wristwatches, neither are you selling shirts. In fact, you are not in basic needs. You are not selling necessity. What I mean is, you are not selling things that people cannot avoid on a daily for you to say that whichever way my ad goes, I will still be able to make ends meet. People will still see and decide to commit their resources to it. It doesn't work that way. You are selling a special product, which means that your strategy, your process, your structure has to equally be spatial. Now, this is what I mean. For example, these are some of the errors you make. You have property in Ibeju, so to say, in Lagos, and then you structure it like buy 600 square meter at Ibeju, Lekki, Dryland, Good Road Network, title C of O, 15 million promo price, and then you have a beautifully designed banner that you have created for your ad creative, and then you post that image, click on your run ad, and then your ad starts serving. What you are doing is not effective campaign. You have just decided to start selling land, and in 2026, 90% of those you are targeting are no more looking to buy land. They are looking to buy results. So your continuous effort in selling land rather than communicating results would always bring you decline. All right, so I've spoken to you about this in my previous videos, which I expected you to have paid attention to it, but nonetheless, since you did not, there are key things you need to understand. Presently, people are not just buying lands because they need a plot of land. Now, a lot of people are being informed about what investment should be done in 2026. So a lot of people are looking for security first and foremost. All right, they have a spare money. Inflation is eating high. They don't want to leave it there, so they want to be sure that their capital is going to be secured. Now they want equally a peace of mind, not people that bought land and tomorrow they heard that that environment has been invaded or the property has been seized. Now they want to be sure the peace of mind in what they've tied. They are only gathered resources because they want to have a property to their name. All right, they also are looking for something that will appreciate. As a matter of fact, I've cited these that people are looking for three important things. One of the things they are looking for is capital protection, which is that security. The second thing they are looking for is actually appreciation. All right, they want to be sure that the capital will appreciate. All right, I give you money. is it just going to be there in the next 1 year, in the next 6 months, in the next 2 years? When I come back, what will be the turnover, the ROI rather, on the investment that I made on that property with you? All right, these are some of the questions they are asking themselves before you come across, before they come across your ad. All right, and then they buy status. I told you some time ago that most times, if you want to sell to a certain category, like the creative industry income earners, you don't sell land to them, you sell status to them. All right, I've explained that status is something that elevates their emotional excitement, their, what do they call it, their steez, all right, the Gen Z, which most of the creative industry income earners fall under, will tell you that they have a bragging right. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Something that gives them a bragging right. All right, this is actually one of the reasons you see most of them are driving a Benz today, but if they cash out according to the word they use in the next 2 months, they will either upgrade that Benz. That will be the first thought in their mind. If the one they drove was 25-35 million, they will rather upgrade to a higher one rather than thinking of diversification or a restructuring of investment portfolio. So that's actually what gives them the bragging right, the emotional excitement that they are looking for. So these are things you need to put in mind. They buy status, all right, and then they buy a future home. So there are people who know that, in the next 10 years, this place will be where the next traffic in maybe Lagos, maybe in Enugu, maybe in Abuja, depending on where you have your own property. So they know that this is where a lot of people will be moving towards. All right. So the next one is a hedge, buying a hedge against inflation. All right. You see, this is actually, those are people that are trying to outperform the economy of the country that we are presently in at the moment. All right. So they know that if they put their resources there, property is actually a liquidated asset. I don't want to use easily, because there are people who may not actually know where an easily liquidated asset can be located. It's not all property locations that will give you an easily liquidated asset. These are some information that these people know. And before you start selling property, think like someone that is promoting a Ponzi scheme. All right, most of you are just selling land and building. If you come down and think like someone that is promoting a Ponzi scheme, your strategy and your structure in your marketing will be different. You see, for example, someone that is promoting a Ponzi scheme understands that these people are not actually interested in the process. They are not interested in the journey. What they are usually after is the end result. So they ask for 3 things. Give me your capital, and then choose a threshold. We have different thresholds, maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year thresholds that we have. Choose either of these thresholds and then tell us how you want us to keep your money. So if you choose 1 year, we are going to be paying you about, in fact, they give ridiculous percentage. They even go ahead to promise as much as 40% monthly. They will promise to be giving them 40% monthly on their capital. Now, the Ponzi scheme promoters understand that these people are eagerly looking for where to put their money and still have something coming from that capital monthly to them. And at the same time, when they are looking for the money, they can easily get it back. Now, 3 things has occurred there. They are looking for capital protection, where they know that when they keep the money and then when they need the money, they can get it back. So that's capital protection, and then easily liquidated asset. They've promised them anytime you need your money, even when the threshold has not gotten there, you can come back and then ask for your money. The only thing we would do is that we would charge you a little percentage for not waiting for the threshold to get in. Now, they are assured of easily liquidated assets. They are equally assured of the capital protection. So they are now certain that, oh yes, their capital is protected and then they can get their money back at any time, while they are also assured of frequent income. So they know that on a monthly basis, they are going to be getting money, 40% of what they have tied down in their capital. Now, these are how an average mind of someone whom you should target works. Now, they know that the money is there. They don't just want to keep it for your piece of land. So what they are looking for are these thoughts. That's why you see a lot of people get scammed at the end of every year. As a matter of fact, this is just February in 2026. Before June, you will hear one very loud Ponzi platform that has been floated, and then they will push it till December, and before you know, you hear that it has crashed. Now, what happens there is that they are going to come, because we are living in a third world country. So what they are coming to do is to promise what their expectation is already known for. So they already know that someone that has 2, 3, 4, 5 million presently, and then is not using it, not having any business idea to put it on, is actually looking for what that money can do without their direct involvement. So that's why going forward, you should stop communicating buying of lands. Instead, activate what they are really expecting with their money, because what they are looking for is not just a piece. All right, they are looking for capital protection, cash flow assurance, and easily liquidated asset. If you are able to guarantee them these three things, your process will be seamless, and you will be able to eventually handle their sales for them as expected. So that's the first stage in what you should do. You see, some of the communication process that you may have, instead of actually telling them in your art creative, like buy 600 square meter at Ibeju, Lekki, dry land, and all of those, we can actually switch it. Imagine switching it to 300 square meter available in fast developing area, on a secure piece of land today, and watch your investment double as development moves in. All right, now you spend a little time and highlight. And I've always said this, look, there is little you can say with image creative. What I mean by image creative is those banner that the company you are selling for will design and give you. There is very little you can say in those creative, in those designs. Now, the most important thing you need is, even if it's a 1 minute video, and most problems that we have is that the 1 minute video that we make is usually sales of property for the 1 minute video that we make usually. But in most in the most important process, what we are going to be needing will be beyond the sales and the marketing communicated directly in your campaign video. So you are going to be applying the route of educational based strategy. All right, see, there are people who don't know why they are actually buying. They just know that someone has told them that it's better you buy a property to your name, and they are looking at, okay, which option do I even go for? Is it for something for personal, I should just buy and keep, or is it something I can just buy and flip? And then they are looking for this information. Okay, I have money beyond just buying a piece. What kind of commercial property investment exists out there that I can equally tie my resources to? Now, when someone sees you, because the moment they see your ad, they may want to visit your page and see what you've done in the last couple of days or in the last couple of months, and then they want to be sure, okay, is this person an authority in this niche? Does he have the capacity to talk to us about something like this? All right, because nobody wants to experiment with a starter. This is why in your process, you have to intentionally bring in on your page where after you have given them the education, where they are getting the call to action, you have to intentionally display your social proof. Let them see that someone else took a risk of trusting you and you did not disappoint, and they had something positive to say to you about the result they got. All right, so that alone will neutralize the doubt. All right, it will help you to build trust faster. And once your trust has been built, the next option would be you establishing their expectation. All right, so yeah, I don't want to go too further. I don't want this video to be too long, but I need you to understand that what you need to change in your campaign right now to make it more effective is to, one, stop selling land and communicate more of the result. Secondly, that's the expectation, what has existed, and how they can take advantage. Secondly, you have to restrict your broad targeting, and at the same time niche down, all right, on who you are really trying to sell to. You see, the market is actually wide. Of course, there are so many people. It's more like you targeting everyone that has interest in owning a land but not having capacity. So interest is good, but it means nothing when there is no buying capacity. That's one of the things you would always need to have at the back and front of your mind, because I have interest doesn't actually guarantee that I can buy it. So you have to know that this person that I'm targeting, does he have the buying capacity, not just expectation that maybe in the future. How long are you willing to nurture them? So it's better you pay higher per lead than paying lower to capture more people. All right, it's better to pay higher to capture quality leads who have capacity than pay lower to capture random people who just have interest without capacity. All right, so instead of you targeting broadly, try to define it. I've told you, go watch my last video. I told you how to bisect your targeting audience. All right, are you selling to Nigerians in diaspora? Are you selling to the creative industry income earners? Are you selling to the wealth preservers? So you have to be able to bisect these people and know these are the people my ads are for. Now, who you are targeting will determine the kind of content you are communicating to them. All right, so that would equally help you to streamline your sales process, because you see, sales conversion becomes easier when you have done an effective job in your marketing journey. So all you need starts from marketing journey. The sales team would have an easy ride when your marketing campaigns have delivered an effective process. All right, so redefine your targets. Don't make it too broad. All right, so the third thing you need to do is that you do not need to tell people to trust you. All right, there is something called trust layers. You have to activate the trust layers right in your campaign. That's why you see there has to be somewhere you take them to. So this is what I have always structured for people like you. I tell you, your campaign happens on advertising channels like Meta platforms. Meta has Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So your campaign happens on either of those platforms, and then you have also another platform like YouTube and Google search result and all other display media. Now let's assume that those are the advertising platform that your campaign was actually run on. You see, you cannot fully activate the trust layers staying on those channels. You have to intentionally take them on a journey outside of the channel where you met them. All right, so you see, because real estate is a high ticket transaction, even though people can go ahead and buy at instant seeing, but out of 100, only maybe one person may go ahead and do that. All right, because you see, strangers would always want verification. All right, so what you do is that to create trust layers so that your campaign that you are running won't be wasted, because the problem has never really been the platform you are advertising. It has always been how you are advertising and what they get to see. First, if you are sending them to a WhatsApp, of course, a WhatsApp number only should be provided. No website to avoid distraction, all right? No testimonial. This is what an average person thinks, all right? I'm sending them to WhatsApp. I'm sending them, I don't have a website. I'm just starting. There is no testimonials yet. And then, of course, I'm just starting. Now I've only made 2-3 videos. I've really not been posting a lot of videos. No verification processes. All right, so at the end of the day, people come in there, see a few things that you've started, and they're like, no, this one is looking for whom to use to avoid the stress of the economy. Now, the trust layer, first and foremost, handles client testimonials, because you see, people will believe what someone else says about you than what you say about yourself. This is what I mean. You see, if you go to Google and search for, maybe presently now you go to Google and type how to sell properties to Nigerians in diaspora, and you see videos that have to do with me, all right, videos that are linked back to my name. So that may help build a bit of connection between you and I. Now, when you open the video and you see that things that I say makes a lot of strategy sense, all right, makes a lot of sense in marketing strategy and in sales strategy, in advertising, and in all of those. One of the things you are going to have is that you are going to be a bit calm with me, pay more attention to me, and maybe give me your data, because you've seen something that really is addressing what your problem is. All right, so I have been able to identify your challenges and then start creating things that handle that. And then there are videos of people who have experienced me and saying, yeah, I experienced this person's training and then it was superb. I recommend it. Now, what that means is that as an individual, someone has gone ahead and tested this person on your behalf. Now you don't have to be the one experimenting. You are riding on other person's experience. Client testimonial. That's why you see 99% of what Google tells people about you will be believed. So always make sure that as you are advertising on any platform you're advertising, there is a deep digital blueprint that will be identified, that will be tied to your name, either when searched on YouTube, searched on Google, and any platforms on the internet. There should be a digital platform, a digital footprint rather, that links back to you. And it shouldn't just be what you say about yourself. It should equally come with things that someone has said about you. Now, some of your campaign creative should be people who have boldly given you their testimonials on how their experiences were buying properties from you, all right, and how happy they've been 1 year after buying from you, because you see, they want to know, do you give allocation, and how long does it take for you to give allocation? All right, so now the inspection videos has to equally be seen. These people need to experience you. Are you selling receipts, as we have heard? Is there a time you've done inspection? Can we see the videos that shows that you've done inspection somewhere? All right, what property title does your properties have? Or you are just selling lands that government will come and reacquire? What are the certainties that what we are buying is secured and protected? All right, now you are actually selling a high ticket product. What's your corporate branding like? It's not that today you are promoting shoes, tomorrow on your Facebook page, tomorrow you are posting car, and then next tomorrow you are talking about real estate, and then I come in there, I'm distracted. As a corporate brand, are you not supposed to be tied to a specific area of interest? Why are you floating? So they want to be sure. Branding is not just about how you appear. Branding is equally about what you do on your digital platforms? What are the niches that are tied to you? What is that specific niche? You said you are selling properties, you are in real estate, but on your platform we are seeing what we are seeing to your name are different things, different products, different items. And then we cannot trust someone who is floating. So people usually blame Facebook ad doesn't work, Instagram ad doesn't work, all these Google ad, it doesn't work. At the end of the day, it's actually not the platform. It is your process. That's why I said, you see, advertising does not start and end at Facebook Ads Manager or Google Ads Manager. Even on TikTok Ads Manager, it does not start and end there. All right. What gives you more result is actually what you do. How when you begin to take them on a journey outside of the platform where they met you, that is outside of the advertising platform. All right. So, and then the fourth one is that your follow-up must not be weak. All right. If you have things, follow-up structure like you reply them late, you give days before you even start following up, and then there is nothing like lead qualification, and at a point when they did not give you what you expected, you stop getting in touch with them. Now, if you are doing that, you will have very low conversion rates. Now, because the reason is that these are strangers who have just met you. What they expect from you is connection, not sales. So they want to, because people buy from people they like, all right? There has to be a likeness bias, all right? So likeness bias is a strategy in sales. You have to intentionally create a likability personality, all right? So this is done with a structure. There has to be a follow-up structure. Now, in most cases, a lot of people are still not very tech savvy. So I usually recommend use as simple as your WhatsApp label, all right? Just arrived, messaged and responded. So create different labels so that you know how to segment them, so that your follow-up does not collide. Someone that has just arrived should not receive the same message with someone whom you've spoken to about booking inspection, and someone that has already scheduled for inspection should not receive the same message with someone who just whom you are still talking about scheduling. Someone that has gone ahead to inspect should not be receiving the same message with someone that has only booked but has not gone to inspect. So now the segmentation helps you to structure your messaging so that you know your follow-up process can be seamless. And at the same time, if you can adopt technology to automate your follow-up process, and your segmentation journey would be equally easier as well. All right, so fixing it is that you create a stable automated responses, because you can't, someone, as a matter of fact, attention span is between 0 to 20 minutes. Someone can be messaging you in the morning and then you are answering in the night after a long day, because most of you are working while also doing real estate as side journey, side hustle. All right, but the longer the interest, most time they would even forget when you say hi to them on WhatsApp. They are like, who is this please? They were the one that messaged you first, and you are like, you sent me a message about a property. Oh, and then by the time you start hearing that, sorry, how are you? And you just know that immediate interest is not what it was again. And another challenge you need to take note is that as they are seeing your ad, the algorithm has identified that, okay, they spent up to few minutes, let's say 15 seconds rather, on that campaign. So in the algorithm structure, they feel this person has interest in this kind of ad. Trust me, the next ad that they will be seeing will be ad for real estate as well, ad for property sales. So apparently your competitors will start coming up to him. Now, if you delay in getting in touch with them and following up, they would obviously have been captured by your competitor, and at the end of the day, you were the one that advertised. Your competitor that they saw was actually amplified by algorithm. In that case, you have unintentionally pushed your prospected clients to your competitor. So what do? Create a simple system that enhances speed plus consistency. All right? When you have speed and consistency in your follow-up, you would most likely convert more. All right? So the fifth one is you should not be boring in your marketing. You see, edutainment would always outsell anytime, any day. Of course, you are in a special industry, high ticket industry, quite all right. We should do everything corporate. That is good. But you see, edutainment is one of the most effective creative on the internet, because primarily everyone that comes to the internet comes to first unwind. They scroll up just to ease off stress, just to see something that will make them excited, that will make them laugh, and then, something that will just make them happy. And secondly is for them to, see information, get in touch with families and friends, that's reconnect with family and friends, find some information, and then probably get educated, get some education while trying to scroll. So if you apply the edutainment, your campaign video is educating and at the same time funny. That's edutainment. You are going to always have the attention to yourself. So try it. Make sure that you are not just overly too serious. All right? And do something that drives the right attention, because attention span is very limited. All right? Make sure that your visuals is beautiful, creatively created. Don't just write your corporate sales copy. Make sure that it's story-driven art. In fact, story-driven art would convert way more than your fear-driven art. Story-driven art, for example, your fear-driven art can be, in the next 2 years, your landlord that you are paying 5 million per year today may tell you to leave his house, or you pay 15 million. Now that's fear-driven. But story-driven would be that Mr. Ayo worked in Nigerian Port Authority, NPA, in the early 1980s and 1990s. And as at the time, properties were sold for places like Awoyaya or places like Lakwe for just 25,000 naira. Now, the smartest thing Mr. Ayo did was to buy about 30 acres of land in those locations. But he had a friend, Mr. Kunle, who saw that as a miscalculated investment. Mr. Kunle rather went to so just structure your story. All right, this is just an instantaneous thought. I've not analyzed it. I've not started to think about it before I started. I just was trying to give you an instance. All right, so make sure that you come up with a very uniquely attentive story that align with your purpose. All right, create scarcity. All right, scarcity positioning is equally a very unique strategy in real estate advertising. Scarcity positioning. All right, and make your call to action very clear. All right, so this video has actually gone longer than I expected. If you are still here, I would like you to go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and make sure that you turn on your notification and share it to your timeline, share to your friends. They are likely going to thank you for helping them gain education. All right, so yeah, that will be all for this particular video. I'm going to be answering another question tomorrow. Make sure that you are there. All right, see you.